We're looking at function inverses, and we want to verify inverses of nonlinear functions. And so in this case, we want to determine whether the function f of x equals 3x squared plus 7 and g of x equals the square root of x minus 7 divided by 3 are inverses. And so we're going to go through that process. So we want to check f of g of x. We want to see if that is equal to x if we simplify it all the way. And we also want to check and make sure that g of f of x is also equal to x. So this is what we want to check right here. So we can substitute the values in. We have our function f of x, and we have our function g of x. So we're going to put g of x and f of x over here. So we have the square root of x minus 7 over 3. And we're going to substitute that into 3x squared plus 7. And then we're going to have 3x squared plus 7. And then we are going to have that in parentheses because we're substituting that in for x. And we're going to divide by 3 and subtract 7. And all of that is under the square root. So we want to see if both of these do simplify to x. So on the right side here, or the left side here, our square and our square root cancel, and we're left with 3 times x minus 7 divided by 3 plus 7. Then our 3 cancels because one's in the numerator and one's in the denominator, and we get x minus 7 plus 7. And then the 7's cancel, and we're left with just x. On the right side, we don't need this parentheses right now, so we can get rid of that. So 3x squared plus 7 minus 7 divided by 3, and that's still under the square root. So the 7's cancel. 3 in the denominator and 3 in the numerator cancel. And then the square root cancels our square, and then we are just left with x. And so in this case, we do have f of x and g of x are inverses.